It's Camping World's Destination Recreation.
Today on Destination Recreation, I'm going to introduce you to a unit from Dutchman called the Voltage. Now we have propane storage up front, we've got lots of storage underneath for all of your fun things, but this unit is going to change everything you ever knew about toy haulers. This is the main entrance, and as the kitchen slides out, it reveals the great entertainment area, which is directly underneath the awning. Now on the sides, they've got this chip-proof paint protector, which I really like. More storage here, and in the back, the entranceway to where you're going to put your toys. But to me, it's the interior that really blew me away. When I come to the interior of the Voltage, it kind of reminds me of staying at the Ritz-Carlton. Check out the ceiling, 7'7". We got beautiful lighting fixtures, a great bar. This place is nicer than my house. And how about the banquette? Room for 6 or 7 people to hang out before you go play with your toys. But what's really amazing to me is the incredible master bedroom. Look at the size and the space of this area. Room for you to sleep a couple of people up at the top of the back of the toy hauler. There's a master bathroom by the master bedroom and an additional bath here for everyone to use at the back of the toy hauler. But my favorite spot is in the back. All right. So you've got sleeping room for 6 or 7 up in the front compartment, but back in the toy hauler at night, we've got double bunk beds and a space for you to put the kids, or at least your mother-in-law, right? When you get done playing and you're ready to go home, you just hit the switch, and guess what? The bunk beds go away, they go all the way up to the ceiling, and that opens up your 9x12 space here in the back of the toy hauler for you to put your snowmobiles, your ATVs, your motorcycles, whatever it was you brought to play. This is absolutely, in my opinion, the best toy hauler on the market.
And welcome back to Kentucky Speedway.
That wasn't 2 or 3 toy haulers. I've never seen anything with so much space.
He kept going.
And I've been to Ray's house, and he's right. It is nicer than his.
Take a look at all these campers. I tell you, when they announced that a cup race was going to be here, I think people just started lining up saying, okay, where can we get tickets and how can we get in here to get our campers ready to watch the truck race, the cup race, and the nationwide race. We are back underway. Green flag back in the air. Elliott Sadler shows the high line. Problems again for Austin Dillon on the restart.
Yeah, Johnny Sauter was able to jump to the outside of Austin Dillon. Now it's 3 wide. Joey Coulter on the very outside on the 22 RCR truck.
I think Johnny Sauter forgot his truck was 7.5 loose. He got in the middle of 2 trucks, and he's staying there, Phil.
You're going to race Joey Coulter down into turn number 3. Johnny drives it in there hard.
Johnny Sauter is going to have second. Takes it away from the 22 of Joey Coulter.
Oh, it's going way high.
Way out in front is Elliott Sadler. He's already got a big lead.
3 wide racing let Elliott drive away from these cats. Got him a nice little cushion there. But there's no cushion here.
3 wide the middle here. You go side back up.
Look at Jason White digging down on the bottom. Travis Quapple up on the top side.
Moving out of line. You see the 31 of James Busher trying to get by Austin Dillon.
Austin hasn't quite recovered from the very initial restart. James Busher slides up the racetrack right in front of Austin. Now he's going to go high.
Dillon looks back down to the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes the 88 of Matt Kraft, and he's going to go by on the outside, as does the 33 of Ron Hornaday.
It looks like a little bit more than maybe just getting some debris on his tires, because it's persisted here for several laps.
But he's been able to dive up under Hornaday there as they exit turn 2. We saw Kyle Busch start last, had made his way into the top 20 before that first caution flag up on the outside of the 46 truck of Justin Lofton. And there's Miguel Paludo looking under David Starr. This is what you're going to get, Phil, if you're back in the pack. 3, 4 wide racing.
And Kyle's going to the top to make it 3 wide here to try to get by 2 trucks, and he's got them both.
Takes the position away.
How about that run he got off that corner? He got it up high, left his foot in it, and it looked like he was shot out of a cannon off that turn.
Battle for second on the right of your screen. Johnny Sauter, Joey Coulter.
I'll tell you, that 22 truck of Joey Coulter has been impressive. He keeps learning and learning, getting better and better. Last 2 times out, top 5 finishes both times.
Look how fast he is through the center of the corner. You can see him pull right up on Johnny Sauter. That's a sign of a good handling truck. You get that thing through the middle of the corner, it fixes a whole lot of other problems that you might have.
things have changed quickly for Johnny Sauter. After sliding, getting the tail end to come out from behind him and losing the lead, it seems as though now he's almost mortal. He was so good in practice earlier, qualifying, grabs the pole, and now he's got his hands full with Joey Coulter. In the first incident that brought out our first caution, Johanna Long was involved, and she's with Hermie Sadler.
Yeah, Johanna Long waiting patiently to speak with us. Early into your night, I know it's disappointing. Tell us what happened.
It is really disappointing. Me in the 66, we're just racing really hard. I don't know if I came down on him or he just hit a bump or what happened. It's a racing deal. It just really stinks for our guys. We've been working so hard to get this truck fixed from Texas, and knowing we're not going to be able to run Nashville or Iowa coming up, we have to start back at LOR, but hopefully we can get some sponsors so we can run all the rest of the races this year, and hopefully we can make that happen. We're just really struggling right now. That's
Johanna Long, and it's caution on the Speedway. Issues with the 88, Rick.
Yeah, it looks like 88 slow on the racetrack, but no debris has come off of the truck, at least that we can tell.
There for a minute, guys.
Sounds like an engine problem, doesn't it, Phil?
Sure does.
Talk like that. They knew we were here. That means he doesn't think they're going to be around anymore. It's quite amazing. You know, you look at Matt Crafton. We talk about him just being a top 10 guy. 3 straight finishes outside the top 10. Now this will be.
Oh yeah, he was big.
This will be number 4, 4th finish outside the top 10, and this one's terminal.
Yeah, and he was running 6, so tough break for Matt Crafton.
Disappointment for Thor Sport once again. This time it's Matt Crafton with problems. Saturday NASCAR race day rocks Kentucky. Joey Logano joins us live to discuss his recent success in the Bluegrass State. Plus, fresh off his Daytona win, we'll break down the roller coaster career of David Reagan. NASCAR race day built by the Home Depot, live from Kentucky Saturday, 4:30 Eastern, and here on Speed. Pit stops have taken place for a few different trucks, but one of the problems, the 88 of Matt Crafton. Hermie.
Yeah, Matt, back in the garage, guys, looking under the hood. Can you tell us what happened?
She done blowed up. That's all it did. I mean, come out the bottom. I mean, gave me no warning at all. This was weird. I picked up the throttle, and just I come off turn 4, it blew up. I mean, it's a shame because, I mean, we didn't have a whole lot of speed in the truck throughout the day. I mean, this Menard Chevy was, I mean, it was so fast when we dropped the green, and I mean, I think we definitely had something for him because, I mean, I wasn't doing anything really crazy to get there, and the thing was really good. It's a shame. These guys worked really hard. This is a brand new truck, and they put in a lot of hours to get this thing here this weekend, and I hate it for them.
That's Matt Crafton. Disappointing finish for him. 2 weeks in a row, Ray.
Well, you know, Hermie, I was telling you about how loose Sauter was. They wanted to make a big adjustment for him. So on lap 18, Johnny Sauter brought that Safe Auto Chevrolet down, went down around on the track bar, and also put a 1 round of wedge into the left rear. That should help him for sure to tighten that thing up. Now, Austin Dillon wanted to come down pit road because they felt like they needed an air pressure adjustment. The guy ran out and actually did it without changing the tires, and they also put fuel in there. Now, for the 33 of Ron Hornaday, it was a fuel-only stop. They wanted to come down and try to extend the window in case this race goes green. So apparently you had to have a 3 in your number in order to pit, because 23, Jason White also came down to get fuel only that time too. So apparently if you had a 3, you wanted to pit. Rick?
And the field making their way back into the tri-oval. Again, Elliott Sadler out front. Green flag back in the air. Joey Coulter was on the inside.
There goes Josh Richards again. Is that the 3rd strike?
Yeah, you can't do that now. we taught him. We told him at the start, don't do that. We got to black flag him. Make sure he understands.
Nelson Piquet Jr. out on the outside, battling for the 3rd spot.
The top 5 trucks stayed on the racetrack that time.
Josh was thinking, man, there's so much room up there, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, NASCAR is going to slap his wrist on this one. They are posting him. They will bring him to pit road for a drive-through penalty.
Side by side for 2nd. Nelson Piquet Jr. in the 8 on the outside. Joey Coulter in the 22 on the inside. And then they're side by side back behind him for 4th.
James Busher now moves up into the 4th spot. That's Jason White, Austin Dillon racing for 5th back there. Both those trucks came to pit road, as Ray reported.
Top 4 stayed out on the racetrack. Jason White and back came on to pit road.
Man, those guys carry a lot of speed through the center of that corner. You can see Jason White. It didn't look like he ever got it turned, and he was back. Looked like wide open in the gas trying to find his way around. I think it cost him some momentum off that turn. But nevertheless, there's all kinds of different ways you can drive this big, fast Kentucky track.
There's the 15 of Josh Richards. He's slowing down because he'll have to
pass through penalty. Just drive all the way down pit road, but do not speed.
That's what you
Here
heard.
we go again. You see him jump to the outside left of our screen there. He's past 2. There's 3, 4,
5, 6.
5, 6 actually.
No, don't you think maybe he'll look at that and say, man, I should have known those other guys weren't doing that for some reason.
It looks so good to be out there.
Now he's just got to make sure he doesn't make a mistake. A rookie, you know, guy making his first start trying to figure all this out, doesn't make a mistake on pit road and come down through there too fast and get another penalty. He can overcome this one. He's got a decent truck. Stay a lap down and maybe get an Aaron's lucky dog. So just don't want to make another mistake here.
And he's one of the trucks that did pit. So if he gets a caution anytime soon, he could possibly do a wave around if everyone comes to pit road. But so many trucks pitted on lap number 19. I don't think we'll see trucks come to pit road, or certainly all of them, if we get a caution anytime soon, though.
That's what's cool about racing these days, Phil. You keep more guys in the game because you have a wave around, you have the lucky dog. There's a lot of different ways to get back in the game.
Kyle Busch has made it up to the battle for the 6th spot. Austin Dillon on the inside, Kyle Busch on the outside, and it looks as though Busch is going to take 6th away from Dillon.
Pretty good comeback for Kyle Busch. And oh, by the way, he also pitted on lap number 19. So start at the back of the pack. We're 25 laps into the race. He's made a pit stop, and now he's racing again with Austin Dillon for the 6th spot.
Dillon takes it back away from him on the inside of the racetrack.
It's got to be hard to beat him like that. It's got to be really hard to beat him like that.
Not sure whose radio that was.
I think that was Andy Houston, Austin spotter, talking about it being difficult to pass Kyle on the inside when Kyle has that momentum on the outside. Austin's hanging in there, though.
Yeah, Austin saw Kyle Busch slide up the corner, up the track. You see it bouncing up the hill there a little bit, and he tried to take advantage of it, but they're side by side, as are Cole Witt and Johnny Sauter just behind those guys.
Sauter makes the pass on Cole Witt as we see Kyle Busch back in front of the 3 of Austin Dillon. Out in front of the field, Elliott Sadler just in front of Nelson Piquet Jr., then Joey Coulter, James Buescher, and Jason White. They're your top 5.
Check out this battle for the lead. Nelson Piquet Jr. down low. He's able to clip the corner a little bit lower than Elliott Sadler, and thought he was going to get up beside him off turn 2 last time.
Yeah, KHI teammates too, Michael.
Running 1 and 2. Elliott Sadler in front.
Be fun to listen to those two have a conversation.
Elliott Sadler now is running about 0.2 of a second off the pole speed. So that's how fast this racetrack is, and that's how good these tires are. We talked about the fact that these tires aren't falling off a whole lot.
Nelson Piquet is going to be looking to improve his career best finish. To do that, he'll have to get to victory lane. He finished 2nd at Nashville earlier this season.
Looks like he tried to move up the hill a little bit, use a different line. I think that's what people love about racing here, Phil, is there's all kinds of options. Look how wide that black groove is. You can see it's 3 trucks wide, and we've already seen a couple of trucks out in the white without crashing. So if your truck isn't working in one part of the corner, move it around to a different part.
Remember, this is the first time, obviously, that the Cup cars have been here, and they've had essentially a test session today. We talked about it during our qualifying show. So there have been thousands and thousands of laps of rubber put down in this racetrack. So this is a lot more rubber on this racetrack than these truck racers are used to seeing when they come here.
The track looks way different than I remember seeing it. It's usually really white everywhere, and like you said, Phil, the track is really, these tires that Goodyear has brought really has taken to the road, and it's making it a different track for these guys to understand.
Kyle Busch able to get back by the 3 of Austin Dillon. Those two continue to battle for that 6th position. Busch has it now.
Austin's continuing to run the bottom of the racetrack, has a good handling truck, not quite able to get up beside Kyle that time.
And you saw a graphic that came up that said Kyle Busch started 36th. That was because he missed the drivers meeting. He qualified 8th, and that's where he would have started if he would have been to the drivers meeting on time.
And remember, now we talk about the Sprint Cup cars having a test session. The Sprint Cup cars practiced right up until the time of the drivers meeting, and I'm sure more than likely Kyle was debriefing with his crew chief in a Sprint Cup car and probably just forgot that it was right away and didn't get there.
And Kyle actually slid through the grass in that practice session as well. So I'm sure there was quite a few things they wanted to talk about before he went over to the drivers meeting. Elliott Sadler in front of Nelson Piquet Jr. in Kentucky.